Please wait, all of you. Within 2 minutes, your session will start. Yes, I'm going to start the session. So if you have any question in the middle, you can ask me any doubt. So or else you just wait. So at the end of the session, I will clarify all your doubts regarding this session. Okay. So first of all, this is the first session of full stack development program. Stack development program. So in today's session, I'm going to cover what subjects I'm going to deal with Python full stack development and who should go with complete Python full stack development subjects or who should go with only Python core and advanced. I'll explain you clearly. So you just consider this is the first session as a demo session and you can get complete details of this course clearly. Okay. Yes. So now I'm going to start. First of all, this is Python full stack development course. So you must and should aware of Python. So that's what we are going to learn first Python programming language focus. Here I'm going to write complete subjects, what subjects I'm going to cover in Python full stack development. Sir. First subject is Python, that is core and advanced. Core means basic Python. Advanced means advanced level, intermediate level programming will be there. So these core and advanced concepts under comes into only Python programming language. Okay. Next subject I'm going to cover that is Django. And third one is REST API. REST API. Fourth subject is Flask. Fifth one is UI. UI means user interface, that includes complete UI technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and then Bootstrap. Bootstrap. These are all UI technologies. And the sixth subject is MySQL. And also we will be covered SQLite 3. These are the subjects. Okay. So these are the subjects which I'm going to cover. So Python core and advanced, Django, REST API, Flask, UI, MySQL, and SQLite 3. So these are all the complete related Python full stack development subject. If you want to become a Python full stack developer, I strongly recommend to learn all these subjects. Some students are looking for only Python. That means they need only Python language knowledge. They don't really require Django, REST API, Flask, and other things. But here I will explain you clearly who should go with only Python core and advanced, that is only programming language, and who should go with complete full stack development subject along with programming language, along with frameworks and front end everything. I'll explain you. First of all, if you are employee, already you are an employee, already you are doing job, suppose, and in your job case, so if they really need Python knowledge, so if you don't have any Python knowledge, if you want to write Python script in your project development, so I recommend only Python for you. Core and advanced is quite enough. No need to go with complete frameworks like Django, REST API, Flask, other things. If you are already employed in your job profile, Python skills are required, means you can go with only Python core and advanced. That's enough. And second category means who are looking for other technologies like AWS, DevOps, testing, networking, data science, data analysis, statistical analysis, these kind of area. If you are looking, so for them also, I strongly recommend Python core and advanced only. You need to learn all these things. Okay, waste of time, waste of money. First, you have to think what you need exactly. Then, based on that, you have to take the decision. Then, who should go with complete Python full stack development? Suppose you are a fresher, so you want to become a full-fledged Python programmer. Then I strongly recommend to learn complete Python full stack subjects like 6 subjects what I have written here. And also you have some career gap, for example, after completion of your BTech or MCA or any MSc or any degree, if you have a gap like 2 years 3 years experience, do you want to fill that gap with your knowledge? So I strongly recommend for them also Python full stack development subject. So I hope you understand that who should go with complete Python full stack development subject and who should go with only Python core and advanced enough. You can decide as per your requirement. And even after completion of my demo lectures, you need not to join complete Python full stack development now itself only. Why? Because you have enough time to take the decision to take complete Python full stack development. So you can attend my Python core and advanced session, so you can just check out your skills whether you are comfort or not. After completion of core and advanced Python learning process, you can also take the decision whether you want to go with other things like full stack subjects or you want to drop. You can decide after 45 days to 50 working days. After attending Python session also, do you want to continue with framework sessions like Django, REST API, Flask? You can also continue, no problem. But no matter if you are looking only Python or if you are looking complete Python full stack subjects, for all of them, I must complete first of all Python core and advanced course. Yes, I need to teach you completely Python core and advanced because for Python full stack development process, Python is a important language. Python is a prerequisite language. Without knowledge of Python, I don't really recommend to go with other frameworks like Django, REST API, Flask. Why? Because these three are frameworks actually. These are not a programming language. To learn Django, REST API, Flask, compulsory you have a prior knowledge of Python. So what is the time duration of only Python core and advanced? I'm telling you. So if you are looking for only Python core and advanced, the time duration is 45 to 50 working days. I'm saying clearly working days here. 45 to 50 working days it will take to complete Python only core and advanced. What about complete Python full stack development subjects like including frameworks, including UI, including MySQL and SQL means? So minimum 4 months, maximum 4.5 months. 4 months to 4.5 months it will take to complete your Python full stack development. The session time will be exactly, I'll start at 9 p.m. and I'll close at 10 p.m. So after 5 days, you have a 5 demo sessions. So Monday to Friday this week completely. You can feel free to attend daily and you can observe whether you are able to understand my lecture or not. You can take the decision. You can take the decision later after 5 days. So feel free to take the decision. So after 5 days, then we will share the paid link. So if you're really interested to join our session, you can enroll for this course. Otherwise, you can go through other option. We have many options. As per your requirement, you can feel free to take the decision. We are not asking, we are not forcing you to join in my lectures only. So we have plenty of trainers, so you can choose anyone. Because of your career is important, uh, you need to understand the concepts clearly. So that's what here we are to provide best services from our DURGASOFT. Okay. So 4 months to 4.5 months time, I will take Python full stack development purpose, and only Python core and advanced 45 working days to 50 working days I will take. So as per your requirement, you can take the decision whether you are looking for only Python or you are looking for complete full stack development of Python. I said clearly who should go with Python, who should go with only full stack development complete. First of all, I need to discuss each and every subject purpose, sir, actually. So because you are looking for, you are taking the Python full stack development course. In this course, these are the 6 subjects which I have written, but each subject purpose also you must know that. Before going to learn, what is what you must know that. Because so many students, they don't know what exactly frameworks, what exactly programming language, what exactly database tools like that. So it's full stack development is all things will be involved in this full stack development exactly. So I'm trying to explain you clearly. First of all, one language is required. Here out of all 6 subjects, you are going to learn only one programming language, that is Python. Rest of them are not at all programming language. That is for sure, no doubt at all. So you are going to learn one programming language, that is Python. Okay. And most important point I'm covering, sir. Many of the students are think that, so if I want to go with Python full stack development or Python development, is there any prerequisite programming skills are required? I can say no, sir. You need no need to have any prerequisite skills. If you have already the knowledge of C++ basics, no problem at all. And even if you don't have any basic knowledge of programming languages, so no problem at all. So why? Because Python itself, it's treated as a basic language. To learn this basic language, I don't really recommend to learn other languages like C++. So according to me, C++ languages are more complex than Python. I hope you understand that. So Python is a very basic level language. And to learn Python, no need to have any prior knowledge, no need to have the prerequisite subjects knowledge. So you can start your IT career or software career with Python completely, no doubt at all. And most of the students will ask me, sir, is there any background to go with Python full stack development or any other full stack development, Java or .NET full stack? No. So nowadays, people are not asking your background qualification. So if you are degree person or non-IT person, BTech or MCA or MSc, no matter it is. Only your skills are matter. So how your preparation is matter, and how your knowledge is matter. You have to prove in interviews, that's all. So you'll get a job, no doubt at all. So skilled persons are required. So no matter what background you have, that is one of the major information I need to pass. And coming to the point, in these all 6 subjects, first, Python. What is Python actually? Python is a programming language. Yes, it is only a programming language. Remaining all are not programming language, no doubt at all. Python is a programming language which is used to write the coding part for application development. Coding part for application development. Yes, coding part for application development. So it is only a programming language. Remaining all are not a programming languages. Python is a programming language which is used to write the coding part for application development. So using programming language, we will write some logics. We will write some coding. That coding makes functionality. So any real-time software application, you know that. So compulsory functionality makes request and response, all those things. So functionality purpose, what language code we have to write? Python. Why? Because we are a Python full stack developers. And coming to this, Django. Okay, what is this Django? or Django also we can call it as REST API, Flask. Remember that these three, Django, REST API, Flask are completely frameworks. One thing I can say surely, these are not at all programming languages. These are all what? Frameworks only. And that too, these three, Django, REST API, Flask are Python based frameworks. Python based framework. These three frameworks completely written in Python language. Yes. How they develop these frameworks means by writing code with Python. So that's what these are Python based frameworks. So to use Django, REST API, Flask in the web development process, compulsory prerequisite subject is Python. Sir. Yes. Now to learn Python, no prerequisite subjects. But to learn Django, REST API, Flask frameworks, compulsory what is the prerequisite subject? Python. You must have the knowledge of Python. Otherwise, you can't able to learn Django, REST API, Flask. There is a link, there is an order. So that's what in our lectures also we will follow some order. I said already Python is must whether you are looking for full stack development process or only Python. For all of them, I need to cover Python language. First 45 working days to 50 working days. So I need to cover complete Python. So once you are ready or familiar with Python knowledge, Python skill, Python programming, then we can able to start development of applications and projects with Django, REST API, Flask clearly. Okay. So Django, REST API, Flask recommend to learn Python first. So next, what is Django here or Django? Django is a framework. It's not a programming language. It is a framework. So using Django, what we can do, which is used to develop, the web applications. Yes, web applications we can develop using Django. Django framework which is used to develop web application. So what type of framework this is? Django is Django is a Python based Python based web development framework. Python based web development framework. Django is a Python based web development framework. So to learn Django, prerequisite subject is Python. You must have the Python knowledge. If you don't have Python knowledge, so you cannot able to understand Django development process clearly. Okay, so Django is a framework. Once again, I'm telling you, you should not call Django as a programming language. It's a framework only. What is framework also, I will explain you in this session. Don't worry. First of all, let me complete this framework. And Django is a framework which is used to develop the web application. Django is a Python-based web development framework. So in Python full stack development, if you want to prepare or develop websites, okay, online application, what framework is required, sir? Django framework is required. Now coming to this, I am saying that which is used to develop web application. But what is web application here? Okay, what is a web application? What is a web application? Simple, sir. Web application means the application which will provide the services, over the web or internet, is called web application. Yes, simple, web application. The application which will provide the services over the web is called web application. To develop web applications or online applications, these applications also called as distributed application, shared application. Then compulsory, what is required? Django framework is required. Okay, that's what this is, Python based web development framework. Django framework is completely designed and implemented using Python language only. Sir, we are ready with web application, Python with Django. So I'm saying Django is a framework. It's not a programming language. Most of the students may get doubt what is a framework here. Yes, I'm explaining now. What is a framework? Simple. Framework
framework is a collection of class libraries. Framework is a collection of class libraries. Or else each class library contains what collection of classes. Class library means group of classes, simple. So book library, collection of books. Same here, class library means what? Collection of classes. It's called class library. But these classes are what predefined classes, already implemented, pre-implemented. As a programmer, you need not to implement again it. So already they are ready with the code, but as a programmer, you should know how to consume it, how to use it, how to access it. So framework is a collection of class libraries. These are all predefined implemented things, but they're, I can say clearly these are the ready-made resources, sir. Simple. Ready-made resources means ready to use it. But one thing is for sure important point here. Notice this. We are using Django framework for developing web applications. Okay. But Django framework comes with lot of class libraries. If you want to consume or access these class libraries, compulsory we need one programming language, that is Python, because Django completely written in Python. Django framework can understand Python instructions only. So that's what, if you want to access anything from Django, you can communicate with Python language only. So because Django framework can understand Python language only. So that's what we need to consume or access anything from Django by using what? Python language. So framework means it is a collection of class libraries. Each class library contain lot of built-in methods. Each method contain built-in implementation. So we are ready to use it. Our task will be easy. Okay. So this is web application. The application which will provide the services over the web is called web application. Web application is possible to implement using Django framework. Framework means what? It's a collection of class libraries. So now we are ready with the Django web application with Python logic. Next to what subject is there? You can observe REST API. Sir, is that compulsory to learn REST API? Yes, sir, exactly. Most of the students not aware of this information. Remember that. People are looking only, some students are focusing only Python and Django, but they ignore to learn REST API. REST API is very, very important and crucial role will play in real-time implementation. Okay, so that's what we announced the batch Django with REST API. Somebody will skip completely REST API, but that's not accept. REST API is the very vital role will play in Django implementation. I will tell you why, how much important we should give to REST API. I will tell you with real-time examples now. See, once you are ready with your Django web application, students, please observe that web application in real-time scenario, that application once you implement that must and should communicate with other applications. Yes, nowadays every day we are doing making transactions through YouTube or through Swiggy app or through any Flipkart or Amazon or whatever it is, web applications. No? So imagine that the moment whenever you are trying to do any transactions, so from Flipkart, so if you want to buy a product, so you can visit flipkart.com and you can read the specification and place the order of the item. And that request, if you want to make any payment, that Flipkart web application should communicate with what? Your banking application. So this communication, how it happened, through API, through API. That's what API learning is very important. In our full stack development process, we will do some project on REST API also. We will do API testing manually and automation testing also we will be included in our lectures along with the Django application. Let me cover what is first REST and what is API. So where we can use real-time applications REST API, how much important we should give to REST API, I'll explain clearly. First of all, in the REST API is also a framework. It's not a programming language. Yes, REST API is also framework which is used to create or generate the APIs. Yes, which is used to create or generate the APIs. REST API is a framework. It's not a programming language again, which is used to create or generate the APIs. First of all, what is API here? API stands for Application Programming Interface. Application Programming Interface. API stands for Application Programming Interface. Sir, what is REST here? Yes, REST stands for Representational State Transfer. REST stands for representational state transfer. State transfer. This is REST. Remember that REST is an architectural pattern or design pattern. The APIs which are going to generate by using REST architecture is called REST API. You know, Java full stack developers also they use RESTful services. .NET full stack people also they use web API. The name is different according to their perspective, but the purpose is same. In our full stack development, we can call it as REST API. Java people will call it as RESTful services or web services. .NET people will call it as web API. Process is same. So how the .NET programmers fully focused on web API after ready with web application, how Java people fully focused on RESTful API after developing web application. Yes, full stack development also after developing Django application, web application, you must focus on API only because without API, your application cannot communicate with other application. Okay, communication between two or more application via API is possible. So API is a software tool. Yes, API is a software. API is a software which enables the communication between two or more application. Yes, between two or more application. Just now I said the example clearly. Flipkart, or else you can take Swiggy app. So you are placing some food items on Swiggy app, and after that you need to make the payment. Your Swiggy app can communicate with your bank application. That bank application for payment confirmation purpose should back communication with Swiggy app. This communication takes place via API. So I can say simply API act as a middleman services between two or more application. And one more important thing is there, no. So how sir API will provide the communication between two application? Because there is no guarantee the application can be implemented on same technology. Yes, undoubtedly. In real time, many apps can communicate with many different application, but there is no guarantee one application implemented on .NET, one application can be implemented by using Java, one is by using Python, Django. But how one technology can understand other technology, request and response or data transmission because of API. So API can act as a middleman services. The data can be exchanged through API in the common format like JSON format or XML format. So who will generate that JSON and XML means API will generate. Why it will generate JSON and XML? JSON and XML is an open standard format. Any technology, any language can easily understand that. So imagine that our .NET application wants to communicate with Python. Python communicate with the .NET. They cannot communicate properly because they're having their own syntactical rules and regulations. So that's what who is the mediator will come in the middle to translate the data or to exchange the data in common format? API. That's what REST API. So I can say for simple understanding point of view, REST API is nothing but web services. Sir. What is web service? The service which will provide for web application is called web services. Once we are ready with the Django web application, if you want to make your Django web application into other application communication, compulsory we need to write API script. API script through we can make Django application communication with other application. That's how it is very, very, very important REST API. Most of the cases, students may ignore REST API, but I strongly believe that don't forget to learn REST API after Django. If you learn only Django without REST API, waste of time. No need to learn Django at all, because the REST API will play the vital role in Django web application. So that's what REST API also we will be covered in detail, in-depth knowledge you will get. So in our lecture, after completion of Django syllabus, we will come up with REST API, with API testing manually and browsable API. All the things we will be covered in our syllabus, REST API. So anyway, after completion of today demo, you will receive my content. Okay. So our team will send to you complete my content, what I'm going to cover in REST API, Django, Flask. You can check once so that you will notice that you will get clarity more. Okay. So REST API is a framework which is used to create or generate APIs. API stands for Application Programming Interface. REST stands for Representational State Transfer. This is called architectural pattern. This architectural pattern only can help for data transmission. API is a software which enables the communication between two or more applications. That's what you must and should learn REST API. And final thing is, without Django knowledge, I don't recommend to learn REST API. So Django extension is REST API. Yes, REST API is an extension of Django. So people will think that, sir, can't we learn directly REST API? No, not possible. Because I will tell you the reason. Just now I discussed clearly. REST API is a web services kind of thing. Web services generally we need to provide services for what? Web application. So imagine that if you don't have web application with Django, for whom I need to provide services. So that's what you should ready with the Django web application. After that, if you want to make your Django application communication with other application, then you can prepare the API for your application. So to learn REST API, prerequisite subjects what you know, Django compulsory and also Python compulsory, because REST API also completely written in Python language. So it is also Python based framework. So to learn REST API, two subjects are required, Python as well as Django. Without Django, we can't go for REST API. This is REST API purpose. And coming to the next framework is there's a Flask framework. And one thing I can say, to learn Flask, no need to have knowledge of Django, no need to have knowledge of REST API. Only Python is enough to learn Flask, because Flask is completely different framework when compared to Django. It is also web application development framework. You may get doubt. Sir, you are saying to develop web application in Python full stack development, Django framework is required. But why I should learn Flask, sir, again? It is also web application development framework only, no? Yes. But in real time, especially in Python full stack development process, you should write sometimes microservices programming and single page application development or dashboard application development process. Flask is more flexibility framework actually. Yes, most important and flexibility framework, Flask. It's a lightweight framework and it's a very small framework. Okay, so to learn Flask, what is required? Python knowledge only enough. No need to have the knowledge of Django REST API. Flask is a small web application development framework. Flask is a framework. Yes, it is also a framework, sir. Flask is a framework which is used to develop the single page web applications. Yes, mostly we can develop the single page web application. It is also web application framework, sir. Single page web applications development is possible with Flask. And Flask is also a Python based micro framework. Flask is a Python based micro framework, we can call it as micro framework. Microservice programming we can write using Flask. It's called simply micro framework, not even mini, micro, very small. Single page applications or dashboard application or microservices programming purpose, we use Flask framework. To learn Flask, prerequisite subject is Python. Okay, no need to have knowledge of Django as well as REST API. So this is very simple framework, sir. So totally in our Python full stack development course, so you are going to learn three frameworks, sir. Django framework, REST API framework, Flask framework. Total three frameworks you are going to learn. One programming language, that is Python. Total three frameworks: Django, REST API, Flask. So to learn Django, REST API, Flask, common language, you should have prior knowledge with Python only, sir, because all three frameworks, Django, REST API, Flask, implemented using Python only. As of now, whatever I explained about these subjects like Python, Django, REST API, Flask, or under comes to backend application. See, every full stack developer must have the knowledge on front end development as well as back end development, sir. Yes, exactly. Front end development as well as back end development. Both. Okay. Python, Django, REST API, Flask under comes into back end development process. What development process? A back end development process. Python is a programming language. It's called backend. Django is a framework. It's also backend. REST API is a framework. It's also backend. Flask is a framework. It's also backend. Even MySQL and SQLite 3 also backend. But what front end? Only UI, user interface, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. These are only front end. Yes, these UI technologies under comes into front end application development. Front end application development, UI programming. But only front end development not enough in reality. Okay, you are if you, once you are ready with your design, but there is no functionality, there is no validation, there is no logics, then how your application makes a request and response all. So that's what front end means. UI presentation, the moment when user enter into website, what we are going to see on the screen, that is called front end. That design we will do with what? UI technologies. But back end means what? End user or customer who are using the application, they don't really see the logic of Python, they don't really see the logic of Django, REST API, Flask. Internally it will work, but making functionalities properly it will do some. So that is backend application. Behind the scenes it works. And MySQL, SQLite is to extremely backend. Yes, database. So UI is for designing purpose completely. Design and validation purpose we use. Design and validations also we can do with UI. But what is MySQL and SQLite trees are? Database purpose, database tools these are. So in full stack development, compulsory, every application need to maintain some database. So that is called storage area. Even we can call it as permanent storage area. So database compulsory, sir, because customer details and end user details after interacting with application, registration time, login time, verification purpose, compulsory one storage area is required. That is called database storage area, permanent storage area. We are going to use MySQL and SQLite 3. Most of the cases in our full stack development process, I use SQLite 3 database and also MySQL database. But some students are going to think, sir, can't we communicate Python with my MS SQL, Python with Oracle, Python with PostgreSQL, Python with MongoDB? Yes, undoubtedly we can do, sir. No problem at all. Python can able to communicate with any database, no doubt at all. Only the connection string is the matter. But why we are including in our Python full stack development syllabus MySQL and SQLite 3? Because majority of the people in real time development, Python with combination is MySQL is good, sir. And Django with SQLite 3. Why I clearly mention SQLite 3 means the moment after completion of Python, whenever we start Django web development, you are going to see that Django always integrated with one built-in database that is called SQLite 3 database. That's what we will focus more on SQLite 3 also. Maximum operations we can fulfill with the Django web application with SQLite 3 is okay, sir. But you have the prior knowledge of MySQL also. That's what we are going to cover, MySQL basic knowledge also in our lecture. So you will get full database knowledge, you will get UI knowledge, and you will get framework knowledge, and you will get completely programming knowledge. So this is how Python full stack development subject. But one more big doubt. So many times I heard from my students, especially, sir, after getting a job as a Python full stack development, okay, after getting a job as a Python full stack developer, so usually they ask what, should I play the role of completely Python, Django, REST API every time? No, sir, that's not. So many students have the wrong perception. That is, if you are joined as a Python full stack developer, it doesn't mean that you should be play the role of Python, Django, REST, Flask, UI, all. Okay, so your role will be decided initially, and you have to focus on your role only. But only the advantage, what if you get a job as a Python full stack developer, the company people will use your resource at any point of time, anywhere. That is the flexibility. Suppose your role is fixed. Suppose you don't aware of, you don't have any idea of Django, REST API, only you know about Python. So your role can be utilized in Python only. So if they want to utilize the role, one person role in Django or REST API or other way, so they can't utilize because you don't have any knowledge of that framework. Suppose you got a job as a Python full stack developer, so you are having already knowledge of Django REST API. So that's what your role can be switched from one place to another place, like Django to Python, Python to REST API, like that. So they are having flexibility like that only. And obviously, full stack developer will have the pay scale is high compared to exclusive Python developer. So that's what I recommend personally. Just better to learn full stack development course. Okay, so that you have a plenty of opportunities in real time world. So you have a lot of scope to survive in IT industry more many years. But if you are focused only Python, so yes, obviously Python relevant jobs also there, but you have to play the role only exclusive Python developer. But if all of a sudden company required some Django developer or REST API developer, they can't utilize your resources. Instead of that, they need to hire that people again. So that's what they focus more cases, full stack developer, huge demand in the market. Because one person can switch to any other technologies like Django with Python, with REST API like that. So that is the major thing, but no need to worry. So you need not to play the role all the things. So that is highly impossible, but your role will be fixed, but your role can be used or utilized anywhere, any aspect. If you are a Python full stack developer, not only Python full stack developer, any full stack developer like this. And coming to this front end things are UI, back end things are this is completely one programming language, three frameworks, database tools that are under comes into backend. So that's what once a programmer have the strong knowledge on front end development as well as back end development, that's programmer called it as full stack developer. Some people will have the only front end development knowledge. So that people will call it as web designers. Only they need to design, but they don't need to write logic. But you have a design knowledge, you have a coding knowledge, and you have a database knowledge, all multiple, all things we can do, we can manage it. So that is full stack development. And especially in UI technologies, user interface, HTML, CSS, JavaScript are the basic UI technologies. Okay. HTML through we can design web pages. CSS through we can do styling, cascading styles. So if you want to make more styling on your HTML page, so you can apply CSS. Nowadays, CSS also people are not using. Why? Because if you want to make styling in CSS, we need to write manual logic. Means we need to customize it logic, we need to write. And most of the cases nowadays, the people are using what Bootstrap. Sir. Bootstrap is the advanced UI technologies. Like in Bootstrap, JavaScript libraries are there, CSS libraries are there, designing and functionality both are there. That is what Bootstrap is huge demand in the market. So HTML through we can develop only web pages. CSS through we can write some styling code like color change, background color styling we can make. But JavaScript is the most important server. Even if you search in Google, top three programming language, Python and JavaScript are two out of three, no doubt at all. But many of them not focus on JavaScript because JavaScript family is huge. So there are so many things are derived from JavaScript. Like JavaScript extension is jQuery. After that, AngularJS, React.js, Node.js, whatever JS are there that are under comes into JavaScript only, sir. These are all JavaScript family, completely huge demand frameworks in reality. React.js, Node.js, AngularJS, like that. All are JavaScript related family. So JavaScript through we can make functionality. Yes, JavaScript also programming language as well as scripting language. It's a functionality purpose and most of the cases validation purpose we use JavaScript actually. Now coming to the jQuery Bootstrap or what you know, sir, advanced UI technologies. jQuery is an extension of JavaScript. Bootstrap is the combination of JavaScript and CSS libraries. So normally, if we go with CSS, we need to write lot of logic. Normally, if we go with JavaScript, we need to write lot of logic for validation. JavaScript, especially for validations, means validation means, the moment when we enter the details in the form, okay. So if you are entering wrong details, then JavaScript to make functionality, whether it is right or not, it will show. If it is right, then request will takes place on the server. If not, then it will show the message clearly. Please enter correct data like that. That functionality we can do with JavaScript. So jQuery, Bootstrap are advanced UI technologies. And jQuery Bootstrap also developed and implemented by using these three basic UI technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript only. But in our Django development, we are going to focus more on Bootstrap, sir, because our main focus designing and coding purpose frameworks we can use with Bootstrap only. So this is total front end, back end out of all 6 subjects, each subject purpose I explained today. And these all subjects purpose I explained, and all subjects under comes into the Python full stack development. Now coming to the main important here, sir, after learning Python, I will start Django. After Django, REST API. After REST API, Flask. This is the order. But when sir UI and MySQL and SQLite, UI technologies, MySQL and SQLite 3 all are the part of Django REST API Flask. While talking about Django REST API Flask frameworks, UI technologies and database tools, MySQL and SQLite tree, that are parts of this development only. Why? Because web application compulsory interact with the database communication. Without a database, without UI, we cannot make web application. So that too also part of these frameworks development only. But one thing is for sure, no matter it is before going to start Django REST API, first of all, first 45 working days to 50 working days, I should complete Python language training. Yes, sir. So I need to cover completely Python. Whether you are looking for only Python or full stack Python, no matter it is, for all of them, I cover Python 45 days to 50 working days. Because full stack development students required Python. For them, Python is required. So after that, we will start Django, REST API, Flask, and UI MySQL completely. And most important thing is, in our full stack development training, I'm going to develop the projects also. Yes, that is important, sir. So Django and REST API with projects I'm going to cover. At least 3 to 4 projects I'm going to show you. That is live project, sir. I will write complete coding, and after development of project code, that I can upload to your Google Drive. Okay, projects also included. 3 to 4 projects I'm going to cover with Django with REST API. So because after learning subject, so if you are not going to implement the project, that is waste of time, because projects makes sense, in real time how the approachment is there with the Django and Python, where we can use these concepts. Most of the students may ask. That's what I can include all the topics whichever I covered in the training period. So that concepts we will be covered in the projects and make one project. So how front end, back end communication, API, how it is communication, everything you will get full clarity after development projects also. Okay. So projects will be there. Each and every subject's lecture will be there. And every day recorded sessions will be hand over to your Google Drive. So after completion of session, 9 to 10, so after half an hour or 1 hour, so obviously you will get the recorded video lecture to your Google Drive. Okay. So first 5 days complete demo sessions. You can feel free to attend the demo sessions. After demo sessions, if really satisfied with my lectures, then you can take the decision. Whether you want to join or not, you can feel free to take the decision, no matter, no force. Okay. But I can say one thing, once you enroll for this course, at the end of the Python full stack development process, you will not at all disappoint. That much promise I can give you, no doubt at all. You will not at all disappoint. So projects will be handed over to you. Total video lectures, every day video recorded videos I'll upload to your Google Drive. And especially my video lectures are lifetime access. Easily we can access. There is no renewal process and all these things. Especially my videos I can give to my students lifetime access. And moreover, the PDFs. So I am showing clearly, just a moment. So core Python, if I start core Python, this PDF you will get, sir. Initially, you will get this core Python PDF. Okay, this is the basic Python PDF, core Python PDF. And then advanced Python PDF will be there. So these PDFs I can send to you. So advanced Python PDF this is. So clear format I prepared. Once you observe these notes, so no students will get confused, sir. Like that, I have prepared clearly with practical implementation, coding, and everything will be there. Whatever I discuss in the class, so everything will be there in the PDF. And Django PDF will be there, sir. This is complete web development PDF. So almost 300 pages PDF is there. So accordingly, so whenever I start core Python, before that, I can share the core Python PDF and video lectures daily basis you will get. Once I start advanced Python, that PDF I'll share. And after that, recorded videos will come. Once I start Django, that PDF I'll share. Accordingly, video recordings will be there. So this is clearly complete PDF. Flask also there. Even you can see REST API PDF also there here. Complete API testing, manual, automation, everything will be there, sir. So these PDFs you will get, video lectures you will get, okay, along with project development also will be there. So this is total basic demonstration today what I cover. So just what are the subjects, each subject purpose I explain in this session. So for more details, so please continue tomorrow also use same link so that at least you have to attend demo session so that you will get full clarity. Okay, so if you attend one day and next day if you skip, again third day if you join, so you maybe miss the clarity actually. You just maintain the flow. Then after that 5 demo sessions, you can take the decision whether you want to join or not. Feel free to take the decision. Now it's your turn to ask any questions from your side, and I can answer your questions. If you have any doubts regarding this explanation or any other related queries, full stack development related queries, you can feel free to type the messages or else you can speak with me. I can answer you.
Sir, will you give certificates, sir, after completion of this course, please?
Sure, sure, sure. Once you complete your course, then our team will provide course completion certificate.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Your full stack development, how much time it will take, sir? Complete
4
Python?
months to 4.5 months, sir.
4.5 months.
Yes, exactly. Because we have included 3 to 4 projects development. So project development means it's not like that already we have a project that I can give it to the students. No, we will from the scratch, we can start development. I will write own code. You can also same thing. You can write the code along with lecture. Same output you will get, same execution will be takes place. Design and database design, everything I can do myself.
Okay, sir. Don't mind. Do you have already existing one? Is
No,
that possible to show, sir?
the existing one is there, but it's not right time to show you because once you enroll for this course, I can show that complete flow of project flow and explanation. Same thing we can do in our code only.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You got any data? Yes, sir. Data science topic we will be covered NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib in our Python advanced course. It will be covered, sir. NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. These are the major modules who are looking for data science or data analysis. Any more questions?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, proceed, sir.
Sir, we don't have knowledge about Python. We have knowledge on zero knowledge on Python. Can we get
No
in?
worries, sir. No worries. That's what here we are give a basic, and from the scratch we will teach you completely. You will become a good at Python, no doubt at all. So no need to have any knowledge. So you can feel free to attend the sessions, try to understand, but practice. Don't ignore the practice. That's compulsory.
Okay, sir.
We don't cover any project on data science because this course is not at all related to data science, Navya. So this is exclusive for Python full stack development. Even though who are looking for, after learning Python, who are looking for data analysis and data science, that's what we are covering. NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, data visualization, data analysis modules we will cover. That's all. Because you are looking for data science project, you have to enroll for a data science course, you know. Yes, exactly. Will you
Thank
cover
you, sir.
exercise for real-time problem? Yes, obviously. Once demo session's over, when I start logical programming with Python, so daily 2-3 questions we will give you exercise program, and you should come up with your code, and even I can also explain my code. So we will discuss that real-time problems, problem solving, how it will be in our class. First 10 to 15 minutes we will write exercise. Yesterday, suppose today I have provided exercise programming. Tomorrow next session, first 10 to 15 minutes will focus on that, discussing some problem solving things only. So that's way it's okay. I can take care of it, no problem. Because Python is a programming language, you should have the knowledge of problem solving, all these things. Any more questions? Yeah, assignments. That is what I'm saying. Sri Vaishnavi, we will give regular assignments. You have to do it. If you are unable to do it, we will help you regarding that, so that you can improve your logical things.
So if we are looking for data science, Python core and advanced is enough, right?
Yes,
sir?
exactly what I said in the beginning session. Looking for data science or data analysis or AWS or DevOps or testing or networking, which is really Python required things. Only Python is enough for you. No need to go with Django, REST API, all these frameworks. Students who are looking purely Python full stack development process, if they want to become a Python software engineer, so I can recommend for them full stack development course.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, anyone. If you have any question, feel free to ask me.
Do we have any projects only developing on pure Python, not on the Django?
Can you repeat it?
Do we will you give any projects
I
the
understand.
projects that you are talking about?
See, madam, instead of project, we have to say the application. So why? Because projects we will be covered with Django. See, project is nothing but everything need to be required. No, only programming language through we can't create a project. Project in the sense we have to make design, we have to write code, we have to communicate with the database. All layers are required. That is project. But whatever you're asking, it's right. That's not project, but we will be covered some application oriented programming with Python. That I can show. It's not project because only one programming language through we can't implement project. So we can implement applications. With Python, application development is possible, not project. Project means again, frameworks need to be included, UI need to be included, database need to be included, like that. Anyway, we will communicate with Python, purely with Python through database also, no problem. Application oriented programming will be there, not project.
Okay.
Sir, I'm sorry, sir. You take all your classes on weekdays, isn't it? Not on weekends.
Yes. No. Exactly. Sorry, sir. Monday to Saturday, I will take sessions regularly.
No. They told us like you take the class on Monday to Friday, not on weekends.
No. Monday to Saturday. I think wrong information.
No, actually, we can't make it on Saturday because on weekends.
Okay, fine. But maximum actually we will try to take Monday to Saturday only. My sessions especially, but other trainers I don't know.
Actually, I've been to other class, and they told me
Okay.
it's they started in last week,
Okay.
and they told me they are going to take Monday to Friday, and Django class they're going to take on Saturday, Sunday.
No. Actually, other trainers may have the different schedule because they should focus weekend batches on Saturday and Sunday, full-fledged. But I don't have really
Then
that
then
kind of
the
because
that
I personally say that I am very busy with my offline classes. So
yeah, then one of your team member told me like Mohan Reddy can take the class on weekends, weekdays, and you can do train like your practice also on weekdays. If you are interested with Mohan Reddy, you can go further with
yeah,
Mohan Reddy.
weekdays only. That's what I'm saying. Monday to Friday, weekends, Saturday also take, but we will accordingly we will plan it. No problem. I can collect the
Sir,
information from them.
we are not from India, sir.
Yeah, sure. I understand that. Yeah,
Weekends are like we are full busy,
sure.
and we are making up our classes in the morning, and we are learning our this thing in the evening.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I can consider, sir. I'll talk to my team and I'll let you know. Okay.
Well, actually, me and my friend is there in the this thing in
Fine,
the
sir.
session.
No problem.
Okay, please, thank
Yeah.
you.
So, okay, guys, thanks for attending this session. And please continue the sessions at least for demo session so that you will get clarity, you will understand the flow. So after that, you can take the decision. So is there any question, any more question? You can please go ahead.
As a leader, as a manager, Python 4 and advanced is enough, or else other things also required?
It depends on your projects or what you are going to lead and what you are going to manage in your case. So is this okay to enough Python means you can go with Python only.
Generally, I
But,
work with
if you are
management.
leading the people who are already working with Django and REST or something, so you might have the idea about these things also, I think.
Okay. But we are
It depends on how you people are leading the other people.
okay.
Yeah. Yes. So now it's time to leave. So have a nice time. See you tomorrow in the next session. You can use same link. We will meet you tomorrow again. Have a nice time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.